What if the world were a chessboard and nations were the pieces? Imagine each country as a strategic player, moving and countering, vying for control, dominance, or simply survival. In this global game, the stakes are high, and the players are nations. Let's take a closer look at a particularly intricate and volatile part of this board: the Israel and America dynamic. As pieces in this game, their relationship has been marked by a complex web of alliances, conflicts, and strategic interests. Historically, these two nations have shared a special bond. America has been a staunch supporter of Israel, aiding it in numerous ways, from diplomacy to military support. This alliance has been a cornerstone of American foreign policy in the Middle East, but like any game of chess, the dynamics are ever-changing. The board is not static, and the pieces are always in motion. The moves of these two nations have been watched closely by the world, as their actions can ripple out, affecting the balance of power in the region and beyond. The recent tension between Israel and America is a new development on this global chessboard. The causes of this tension are multifaceted, a mix of political, economic, and ideological differences that have been simmering for years. The chessboard of global politics is not just about power, but also about ideology, about values. And in this game, the ideological differences between America and Israel are becoming increasingly clear. Both nations have their own visions for the Middle East, and these visions are not always aligned. The divergence in their interests has led to disagreements, and these disagreements have manifested as tension. As we delve deeper into this complex relationship and the current global situation, remember that each move on this chessboard carries weight. Every strategy, every alliance, every conflict, it all matters. In this high-stakes game, every move matters, but what has been the most recent play? As we move forward, we'll delve deeper into the recent clash between these two nations, its implications, and the ripple effects it has had on the world. The recent tensions between Israel and America have escalated, leading to an all-out conflict. What seemed like a minor disagreement over policy matters has spiraled into a full-blown war, shaking the very foundations of the global political landscape. This conflict didn't happen overnight. It was the culmination of a series of events that started with a triggering incident. A seemingly innocuous diplomatic dispute turned into a bitter standoff, the spark that lit the fuse. The world watched, almost in disbelief, as words gave way to action, as diplomatic talks spiraled into military maneuvers. As the conflict escalated, the world watched as these two nations, allies turned adversaries, locked horns in a fierce battle of wills and weaponry. Military actions were swift and decisive, each move calculated for maximum impact. The result? A blistering war that has the entire world on edge. The global political landscape, already a complex web of alliances and rivalries, has been turned upside down. Nations that were once silent observers are now forced to pick sides, changing the dynamics of international relations. The world is now split into two major factions, each supporting a different side of the conflict. The war has also sparked a global arms race, with countries rushing to bolster their military capabilities. The stakes have never been higher. The world has become a giant chessboard, with nations acting as pawns in this high-stakes game of power and domination. The world watches in anticipation as this war unfolds. Every move is scrutinized, every decision analyzed. The conflict has not only changed the geopolitical map, but has also raised pertinent questions about the future of international relations. Will this war mark a shift in global alliances? Will it change the way nations interact with each other? As the war unfolds, the world watches in anticipation. But what does this mean for the future? Will this conflict lead to a new world order, or will it merely be another chapter in the annals of history? Only time will tell. Until then, the world holds its breath, waiting for the next move in this global game of chess. The waves of conflict are not confined to the borders of Israel and America. They ripple out, touching every corner of the globe. These ripples, unseen yet impactful, have far-reaching implications that extend beyond the immediate combatants. The Israel-American war has irrevocably shifted the global equilibrium, molding new alliances while fracturing old ones. Nations are compelled to reassess their positions on the global chessboard, choosing sides or scrambling to maintain neutrality. This strategic realignment is not just a matter of political maneuvering, it's a survival mechanism, a response to the increasing volatility of international relations. Economically, the ripples are just as potent. The war has disrupted global supply chains, leading to shortages and escalating prices. Countries heavily reliant on trade routes passing through the conflict zones are hard hit, their economies left reeling. The global financial markets, too, are feeling the sting. Uncertainty breeds volatility, and the war has injected a hefty dose of uncertainty into the equation. Investors are on edge, their nervousness reflected in fluctuating stock prices and unpredictable currency exchange rates. But perhaps the most significant ripple effect is on global security. The war has heightened tensions and fueled a new arms race. Nations are bolstering their defenses, preparing for the worst-case scenario. The potential for further escalation looms large, casting a menacing shadow over the world. This is not just about Israel and America. It's about a world interconnected in ways we often overlook. A world where a single spark can ignite a global conflagration. The Israel-American war is that spark, setting off a chain of events with unpredictable outcomes. The ripple effects of this conflict are a stark reminder of our shared vulnerabilities. They underscore the need for cooperation, for dialogue, for a collective effort to navigate the turbulent waters of the present. In the wake of these events, the world is left to ponder what comes next. As the dust settles on the battlefield, the world finds itself in a state of flux. In the wake of recent conflicts, we are standing at a crossroads, a junction where the paths of politics, economics, and social dynamics meet and intertwine. In the political arena, we see nations adjusting their strategies, aligning and realigning themselves in response to the shifting sands of power. In some corners, we see the rise of new alliances, born out of necessity and shared interests. In others, old partnerships are being re-evaluated, their foundations tested by the tremors of change. Economically, the world is grappling with the aftermath of the war. Marketplaces that were once bustling are now seeking to regain their footing. Nations are facing the daunting task of rebuilding, their economies strained under the weight of recovery. Yet amidst the rubble, there are glimmers of hope. Innovative solutions are emerging, offering a lifeline to those hardest hit and promising a brighter, more sustainable future. On the social front, the war has left its mark on the fabric of societies. We see communities coming together, their collective strength a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And yet, the scars of conflict are evident. There are divisions to heal, injustices to address, and lessons to be learned. Different nations are responding to these changes in their own unique ways. Some are choosing the path of confrontation, bolstered by a sense of righteousness or the drive for dominance. Others are opting for dialogue, guided by the belief that understanding and cooperation are the keys to a better tomorrow. In this complex tapestry of change, one thing is clear. The world is not what it was. It is evolving, reshaping itself in response to the challenges and opportunities of our time. And while the path ahead may be uncertain, the journey is one that we must undertake together. In this ever-changing world, one thing remains constant: the need for peace and understanding. In the aftermath of conflict, the question remains, where do we go from here? As the dust settles and the echoes of war fade away, the focus shifts from the battlefield to the negotiation table. The path forward is not paved with more aggression and hostility, but rather with dialogue and understanding. It's time to acknowledge that the stakes in this global chessboard are too high for reckless gambles. The world we inhabit is not a zero-sum game, where one side's gain is the other's loss. Our challenges are intertwined, and our destinies linked. No matter the geographical boundaries or ideological differences, it's crucial to remember that we share this world, and its future is our collective responsibility. So, how do we move towards a more peaceful and stable world? The answer lies in diplomacy. Diplomacy is the art of navigating the complex web of international relations with tact and finesse. It involves listening, understanding, and most importantly, respecting the perspectives of others, even when they deviate from our own. It's about finding common ground amid our differences and working towards mutual benefits. Moreover, cooperation is key. In the face of global issues, unity is strength. It's only when we pool our resources and expertise and work together as a global community can we hope to address the challenges we face. From climate change to economic inequality, These are not issues that can be tackled in isolation. Mutual respect forms the bedrock of any constructive dialogue. Respecting sovereign nations, their cultures, and their right to self-determination is not optional, but essential. It's only when we respect each other's rights and freedoms can we hope to build a world free from the shadows of war. As we navigate the turbulent waters of global politics, remember, the game is not over. The next move is ours to make. Let it be a move towards peace, understanding, and mutual respect. Let's strive to leave a legacy of harmony for the generations to come. Let's remember that the true victors are not those who conquer lands, but those who conquer hearts.